I spend hours on crypto Twitter, so you don't have to. Here's what's happening. A well-known blockchain player and its tokenized asset issuing subsidiary are shutting down. I talked about Step Finance getting hacked a few weeks ago. The TLDR is that a malicious actor took some funds from Step Finance's treasury accounts on-chain. Step Finance is the parent company of Remora Markets. I've talked about them a couple times because they've been an early player in the tokenized asset issuance game. Specifically, they launched a lineup of tokenized assets that aim to give people exposure to precious metals on-chain. That included gold, silver, palladium, platinum, copper. And now they're shutting down. Step Finance, the Remora Markets parent company, initially sounded pretty upbeat after the hack. Remora Markets highlighted that none of the actual assets that were backing its tokenized assets on-chain had been disrupted. And across Step Finance, Remora Markets, and another account they run, Solana Floor, things seem to be proceeding with business as usual. But then Monday morning, they announced that they'd be shutting down. A couple interesting takeaways here. First of all, that account I mentioned, Solana Floor, has actually been a pretty good source of news for things happening in the Solana blockchain ecosystem. So I'm sad to see that Twitter account shut down. I actually read the things they tweet quite often. Second, the Remora Market situation is quite interesting. In the context of stablecoins, I've talked a bit about the importance of bankruptcy remote. The TLDR is holding the actual assets, the underlying assets, in an account that's protected for the holders of the tokenized version. The whole point is that if a company shuts down or declares bankruptcy, the tokenized assets will have priority over those assets. This is a good real-world example to highlight that the potential risks are actually real. I don't know if Remora Markets held the reserve assets off-chain in a way that was bankruptcy remote, but in this case, they've assured everyone that everything is backed one-to-one. They're working on a process now to redeem for USDC all the Remora tokens. So anyone who's holding, for example, Remora's tokenized gold product is going to get USDC back in an amount that's equivalent to the existing value. At least that's what they're saying right now. So in this case, no real harm done, but it does highlight the importance of the issuer stability and the way they structure assets.